If you're a vegan or you're into this because I don't want to hurt animals and I want to save the planet, how do you speak to that person that's watching us now that they would never even conceive of this, or maybe they're thinking of it? What would you say?
Well, I mean, I think be honest with yourself about your health. I mean, that's something to be, because when you start feeling I don't feel good, I'm tired, I'm hungry all the time, I've got gut issues, that's probably your diet. So be honest about your health, and if you're willing to sacrifice your health for your beliefs, be honest with that. That's fine. I'm personally not. I'm not going to, have some ideology that's going to harm me or my family. I think that the reality is, as a vegan, thinking that no animals are dying for your food is complete fallacy. I mean, there's literally, like we mentioned earlier in this podcast, millions and millions of animals are dying to produce plant food. So you're not really doing that. The environment, if you really want to, save the environment, and I don't know that we can. Again, I don't know that how much humans are impacting the environment some more than others. I think the pollution is an issue. I mean, you go down and you go to a deserted island and there's plastic bottles washing up all over the place. There's a real problem with that. And so, veganism, you put all these processed foods, you're putting all this plastic in the ocean, you're harming the planet in many ways. And just because, the calculus is unfortunate because, the current measurement is how many calories can I produce per unit of greenhouse gases, whether it's methane or nitrous oxide or carbon dioxide, and that's a calculation. But that's not a very good calculation because we're looking at what about the nutritional quality of that food. And so, one of the most greenhouse gas efficient products to produce crop-wise is sugarcane. Sugar is cheap to produce, and so you could make a lot of calories from sugar and minimally impact the diet. And it's like, is that what we want to be eating for people? And so there's these this new sort of diet, or this thought called a climatarian diet, and they rank foods by climate impact. And literally that diet is basically 100% processed food. It's just complete garbage. And if we're going to go down that road, I didn't mention this, but I mentioned, according to the EPA, 2% of our greenhouse gases come from cattle. The healthcare industry puts out 10% of our greenhouse gases. So literally 5 times as much greenhouse gases are caused by the healthcare industry. So if you get off your, and I see this, you come off medications, you stop going to the ER, you stop needing surgeries, guess what? You've just reduced a significant greenhouse footprint. And we don't count, again, it's very easy to be very myopic or reductionist in your arguments. When you're looking at the big overall picture, you're like, am I really making a difference? Am I just robbing Peter to pay Paul? And this is a thing we don't do, and the politicians aren't looking at this, and it's really unfortunate to see that.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare as a percentage of GDP just keeps going up and up and up.
Well, and I mean, I as a surgeon, I thought about this, how much trash I made to do one operation, all this one-time single-use plastic. Now, I mean, there were literally 10 or 12 full 55-gallon buckets of trash for one operation. You roll out there and they just wheel it out to the parking lot to be shipped off to Pakistan or wherever they dispose of this stuff. It's crazy.
Man, there's a whole healthcare, man. That's the whole thing. So yeah, I would just say, if you are one of these people, and then ask yourself, like, if you want to sacrifice your health, but isn't your health the most important thing? Like, if you're not feeling 100%, are you going to be there 100% for your family? Are you going to be a good example to your family? Are you going to be draining things on other pieces? And then it's like, how important is your ideology?
It goes to the myth of the vegan athlete. So if we're going to say veganism ideology, and many people will, and it's do the least harm, right? So what do athletes do? What do you have to do when you're an athlete? You got to eat more, right? You got to eat more food. If you're eating more food, guess what? More animal death. So you can be a plant-based athlete, I suppose, but you can't be a vegan athlete, because by definition, you should be as skinny as possible, have the lowest footprint possible from a food consumption standpoint. So you can't be a big vegan bodybuilder because you got to eat all the time.
For carnivore diets, are you kind of like the poster child for this now, or other people coming up that are eating meat? You got the Liver King out there.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know much about Liver King.
I haven't met him. He's great at marketing. Obviously, he's created a brand around himself, and I don't follow him that much, and I'm not into eating raw liver or anything like that. In fact,
so he's a raw meat guy.
Kind of. I think he does. I think he does raw liver or something like that. But I mean, he's got this whole primal stuff, and I think some of that makes sense. Some of it's obviously for show. I think he was just in London recently, is what some people were telling me as I was getting here. But,
yeah, I heard that too. I didn't.
I think, again, I'm happy for people to open up the discussion, and like I said, sometimes when you show people eating raw testicles and stuff like that, like he does, a lot of people are going to be put off by that. And I'm just saying, you don't have to do that. You can have a steak and eggs for breakfast, and that's sufficient. That's all you need to do. And I think that makes it a little more accessible. So it makes me look less crazy, which is kind of nice. But I can appreciate, the audience that he's capturing. And you see a lot of people. There's a lot of people on social media now. TikTok, I don't know if you've seen that cesspool, but it's kind of a crazy place.
I try to stay away, but there's a lot of people there, doing meat-based diets?
Well, doing meat-based diets and raw meat diets. And of course, as it's becoming more and more popular, we're seeing more and more pushback from the standard channels, the dietitians warning you the dangers of eating meat and how all these bad things are going to happen, which never happen. I mean, I've literally been seeing thousands of people do this over the years. No one's getting scurvy, no one's dying, no one's having their colon fall out. All the stuff they tell you is going to happen, it just doesn't happen.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.